Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gotham City. I'm your host, Levy Rozman. This is a podcast where I talk to people who live in the chess world on the 64 squares and beyond them. For this episode, my guest is Michelle Khare. She has a YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers, and she is the host of the series Challenge Accepted, where she learns how to do certain things or live the life of certain professionals within 30 days and then completes a final challenge. It's an unbelievable series. Do check it out. And a couple of topics in this episode she has actually already succeeded in because we filmed this a couple of weeks ago, but you'll recognize those as they come along. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, we're live. Woo-hoo! How are you?
Hi, Levy. Coach Rozman. It's so good to see you.
No, just Levy. That's totally fine. How's life? Every time I'm not joking, by the way. Like, I'm starting off with a bang here. Every single time I get upset about the weather in New York, I look at Los Angeles weather. That's what I do.
Well, it was the most fun having you come visit, by the way.
It was, man, I don't know how y'all do it. 80 degrees every day. Like, I've never seen a cloud in your forecast. Like, it's so frustrating. I mean, are you out every day just doing stuff? What is
of course. I mean, obviously in the past year and a half, it's limited what we can do, but I'm out there. I'm outside filming.
You guys filming or posting workouts and like gyms and everything. I'm always a little envious, but hopeful. That's my emotion. That one day I will also
Are you going to come to LA?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But it's... Yeah, the weather certainly makes a compelling case. But everyone who talks about LA is it's very much like being in New York. I hate it or I love it. I don't meet people who are like, well, it's good, but some bad things about it. It's like it's either or. What are you all up to? I'm shocked you found availability and I didn't catch you traveling to somewhere.
Oh my God.
Filming something.
Ever since you launched this podcast, I was like, oh my God, I want to be on Levy's podcast. It's so fun. I get to hang out with Levy for an hour, but it's like not a lesson. So I'm not stressed out. We just get to hang out. That sounds really fun. Well, hi everyone. My name is Michelle. I have been Levy's student for PogChamps 3 and it really changed my life. I'm not joking.
For
participating in PogChamps 3.
Better or worse?
It's been a roller coaster. I'll say that.
Okay. That's, it's chess. Yeah.
So yeah, Levy and I met when I decided to do a video on my channel, immersing myself in the chess world for an intensive period of time. And originally the goal was to try and win PogChamps 3. Got to the consolation bracket finals, but I wasn't super satisfied quite yet with that finish. So I decided, I want to keep going, see if I can hit 1,000. And I think what we originally estimated the time frame to hit 1,000 was like a month or two. Mm-hmm. Girl, it is August and it's still happening. The roller coaster I have experienced trying to hit 1,000 in chess is the most dramatic life event I have taken part in. It has been the highest highs, the lowest lows. I've wanted to set my computer on fire. Mm-hmm. I've also wanted to cry tears of joy. And currently, it's a very interesting time that we're recording this podcast at this very moment. I'm currently at 991 ELO.
I was going to ask, I went to your chess.com account and I saw 991 and then I was really confused because not because you're high rated, because you're...
Well, yeah, that's okay.
because I was like, wait, your peak was 18 days ago, but you're playing games, but you're playing unrated games. That's what it looks like. So what is going on? Are you scared?
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. It has been such a roller coaster just getting to 991 that I am terrified. I know, I'm pretty sure all I need is one more game, one more positive outcome rated game.
Against like a 900, you need,
against someone like random online. And I'm so scared, Levy, because I have gotten I think previously I got up to all the way to 985. And I was like, holy cow, let's go. I was on stream, super excited. Oh my God, I'm going to hit 1,000 today. We're going to have this huge, crazy celebration. We're going to have like streamers fall from the sky. And I fell all the way back down to the 800s right after that. It's like, okay, I was on a winning streak, and it's crazy. Let me tell you, the chess wall and we know each other very well. And I hate our relationship.
Lucy had the same. Like she ended up not playing 10-minute games for a while because she hated the thought of playing for a long time and really dedicating yourself and like losing on time in a winning position, or just making a one move blunder after 20 minutes. It just makes you like feel like you just totally wasted a bunch of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you're climbing the ranks, particularly early, every game feels like a world championship because it's like all that little point, it justifies like every bit of work that you put in, and it's difficult to break through. And so she ended up just playing 3-minute games and spamming 3-minute games, like a ton of them. And I remember there was a day she crossed 800 and 900 literally in the same day.
That's
like
insane.
But then you go all the way back down to like 790 or like 820, 830, and you're like, ah!
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Literally me. I don't know how you chess people do it. The mental fortitude.
It happens to me too. I'm definitely not the shining example of mental fortitude. Like a lot of these super grandmasters have really good nerves, and but I will say that it totally happens. Like I made my anonymous account to prepare for my upcoming tournaments. And
an anonymous account. Everyone's been telling me they're like, why do you only have one account?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I have to because I'm playing openings that I'm totally planning to play over the board. I'm playing all my lines. So no one knows that I'm going to play those lines, only me. And my first like few weeks, I was just killing people. Not actually killing people, but I was like 2800, like 2805, 2790. And then all of a sudden I went down to like 2590. And so for me, there was always a mental barrier. For a long time, my highest peak rating in Blitz was 2737, and I broke it.
2737.
And then 2 days later, literally 2 days later, it took me 2 years to get past 2737. 2 days later, I was 2800. So now I have a mental like note. I will never go below 2700. Anything below 2700, I'm underrated. And before it was like, oh, I'm getting up to that. Oh my God, I'm so close. Yeah. And for me now, my highest rating now is 2830. So I got up to 2818 the other day, and I lost 2 games. I got too hype against my opponent after beating him 3 times in a row, and I lost 2 games and went to sleep very sad. I get very intimidated against certain opponents. Like I'll never say who, but there's like certain people I might respect.
Me, it's okay. You can say it.
Yeah, well, you're one.
Just kidding. No one's intimidating against me.
You're 3-1 against me according to chess.com because I've resigned some training games. But like I played a few people who I've corresponded with, for example, or who I've spoken to, and I'll be playing them, and it totally warps the way I play. And when I play really strong, because what happens on anonymous accounts is if you get high enough, you'll get paired against I got paired against like top 10 players in Russia. Because they're like 20, because they're 2,900, and I'm playing them and I'm freaking out because I'm like, whoa, this guy's like number 5 in Russia, number 7 in Russia, and it totally changes the way I play. Like I don't see the board the same way, and if I get a good position, I freak out. I just I play 200 points worse immediately once I get the winning position.
Or you're like, this is too good to be true. I can't believe this is happening. There's no way I could have figured this out.
And then you miss something, and then you miss a trapped queen in a tactical position or whatever, and then I'm like, oh my God. And then I play most of my games on my phone, so I just want to throw my phone. And sometimes it gets thrown.
How do you play on your phone? I need my arrows. I need my mouse. I need like a blanket.
Stress ball. Like,
yeah, I have the whole setup here. Look, let me show you. So for the audio listeners, this won't be helpful, but I have 3 notebooks here.
Oh my God.
3 notebooks. These are all notes I've taken during my lessons with you and Anna Kramling and Anna Rudolph. Right here.
Wow.
Sicilian Dragon Accelerated.
That's awesome. That's the note taking is a big part. I've recently started taking handwritten notes just to try to see if it'll help me. I never thought about it because it's such a distant connection from what the way I've always studied. I always handwrote everything in school, but for chess I never handwrite. I just look, and then it just gets embedded in the brain because you do it so long.
Well, that's really amazing and impressive.
Well, let's put it this way. If you do something for 2 decades, I feel like, if you can't do that, I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, you know what really blows my mind? Chess books are written from White's perspective. So if you buy an opening score like book for Black, it's from White's perspective, which doesn't make any sense.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and I think it's because that's just how publications standardize the text. But that is really weird because, like, what are you doing?
So what you're saying is you're working on a chess book?
No,
oh my
no.
God, yes.
Wait,
big announcement. That's the title of this.
Yeah,
I'm releasing a chess book.
I'm not, but yeah, if I was, then I would do it.
Well, if you would, I would buy it instantly because I mean, this is, okay, not sponsored by Levy. This is genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I did your beginner boot camp and it completely transformed my gameplay from just being able to know, okay, a knight moves in an L, all the way into understanding openings and whatnot. Again, not sponsored. Go get the course.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I had no idea. And then you showed up and you were like, I got your boot camp. I was like, oh, thank you. Listen.
Well, I wanted to study.
If you read Reddit chess, they'll say that I'm a demon and, you don't need that stuff. And we are living in an age of unparalleled amounts of free content. But what I always say is well, that thing that you buy is it's a guide that you can always refer to, and it's all clean and compact, and you don't need to go look up multiple videos or multiple resources. And if you have the means to support someone who's content you enjoy, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. But don't.
Yeah. I don't get what the big deal. I found it's a big deal. Quite different from your YouTube videos because they were structured differently. Like you said, they were organized very nicely.
I'm very calm.
YouTube. Whereas the YouTube videos are different. That it's whatever it's mixed in with your commentary and all that other stuff. That said, I have seen your free video, the London system, at least 20 times.
Yeah,
I think I watch it every time I play.
After or before. You can't watch during. So
yes, correct. Before,
yes.
Not during. Oh my God, that wouldn't even no.
You would waste a lot of time. That's one of the ways title players cheat.
Title players are cheating.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of title players banned on the big websites. They get banned. There's 2 ways. I'm not a fair play expert, but there's 2 ways that title players get caught. A lot of it is toggling. So they might toggle from the live board to another window, and you can kind of tell in the opening. So they can look up the cutting edge moves in the beginning of the game that are very critical. And even if they cheat for 1 or 2 moves, just to remember those 2 moves, that's a big advantage because they might play an ultra critical move in a position. Another way, and actually I learned this from a Russian, he might be Russian, he might be Ukrainian. He's Russian speaking, but I think he's from Ukraine. There's a program that analyzes games and how they match up to what an engine would play. So it takes all the different engines and analyzes how closely you play to those specific computers, so it can be used to show which engine you use to cheat. And this Ukrainian guy uncovered that some of the people that were banned, some of these grandmasters, lined up move by move to certain computers. And so they were using that engine to cheat. They weren't using the most common one. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Well, I don't want to say they were using it to cheat. That is the accusation and that's the evidence, but I don't know if they actually did it. But that is crazy, right? Whereas for a 900, if someone at your level cheats, they played top engine move for 40 straight moves. They don't do it very intelligently, but title players know it's a lot harder to get caught. So, yeah.
Well, this is all beyond me. I just want 9 more points to get to 1,000.
Are you gonna retire after that?
Am I gonna retire?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
The goal is Pog 5. Are you kidding?
Oh wow.
Pog
Okay.
5. I'm going for it. Yeah.
If
The video will come out before then. Don't worry. Levy's literally sitting over here like, please release this freaking video. Oh my God.
We'll talk about that in a second. I was gonna say if I hit the Grandmaster title, I'm never playing a tournament again. Ever. I hate playing tournaments.
Baller. That is so baller.
No, it's not. Some people would say it's like weak and everything. No, I'm done. Like,
go home. Listen, anyone who's saying is weak is not a grandmaster. Like 99% of the people who would say it's weak are not grandmasters. Maybe, I don't know. If a grandmaster, who cares? You get to leave. You get to live the rest of your life. Complete baller, grandmaster. No one can take that from you. Because you're never going to play another game of chess.
Yep, exactly.
Or another tournament, I should say.
No. I'll play like Blitz and Rapid, but long games. That's my plan at least. Oh, it's good to hear. I actually thought that if you like hit it finally, you would just be like, you know what, I'm done. We're not doing this anymore. I hate this, and
no,
so I respect it.
When I hit 1,000, I have a bottle of champagne waiting for me. I'm gonna go crazy for a bit and get really, really excited. And probably celebrate for a bit of time. But I would love to play in another PogChamps because I feel that the PogChamps 3 that I played is obviously clearly not reflective of the player I am now.
Yep.
In fact, even watching back the footage from the video that we're releasing, it's bizarre to me because I feel like I'm watching a different person entirely, top to bottom.
How, and we'll talk about chess and then the chess video, but I also want to know about the process beyond it because it's a chess podcast when the guest is fully involved in chess. Let's put it this way. You were fully involved in chess for several months and it's a part of your life, but you have a lot more about you to discuss. So I'm curious, this chess video specifically. Well, I don't know how to sugarcoat this question, but do understand that I mean it in a nice way. What's taking so long?
Okay.
The tournament ended like 5 months ago, right? So
yeah. So most of the videos on my YouTube channel already take a while to make. They're videos about me training for something for a really long period of time, whether it's training like an Olympic figure skater for 60 days and then entering a competition, or going to Marine boot camp, of a variety of different professions and lifestyles. And so the goal originally with chess was to have PogChamps be the finale to the video. And we just ended there, the end. And usually when I have a time frame on a challenge, I can excel pretty quickly because I devote my whole life to it, which I did. I was, training chess several hours a day, taking lessons with you, Anna Kramling, Anna Rudolph. And while I did excel pretty quickly, I still wasn't fully satisfied with my end result. I mean, I came in second in the consolation bracket, so I didn't even make it to the championship bracket. And I just was sitting there respectfully watching Sardoche, who was just like gaining points constantly and, goes on to win the entire thing. And I was really inspired by that. Actually, I was like, you know what? That's the story that I wanted to have in my own chess journey. Why does it have to stop here? So then Anna and I reset the goal of hitting 1,000. And I just didn't think it would take this long. Honestly, it's been quite the roller coaster. I continued training. I had to take a week off because I was traveling. I went back. I would gain a ton of points. I hit a huge wall at around 800. So it's just taken a really long time. And the crazy thing is the entire video, it's edited. It's edited, Levy. All we need is the moment of me hitting 1,000. It's a 45-minute video. It's a really long video. It's actually insane.
How many hours was it of footage did you have? Did you have like 50 hours of footage? More.
Probably more because it was all of my streams, all of my lessons, all of our lessons over the board. We have interviews. We had interviews with several chess streamers that we did in person once everyone was vaccinated. So the video has like scaled indefinitely. And it's a really impressive documentary of this experience. But we really just need this last final moment of me hitting 1,000.
Just so you understand, because I want to touch on Sardoche, but I also want to touch on, I'm very curious about this whole process, and I had questions for you that go beyond chess. So do you know how many combined Rapid and Blitz games you've played on chess.com? Do you have do you have any idea?
Maybe like 800?
So you've played 841 Rapid games, but if you add Blitz, you've played 971 games. Okay.
Is that good or bad? Is that a lot? I don't know.
Well, do you know how many games Sardoche has played?
Probably like 10,000.
Yes. Like literally, he has played Bullet he has played 5,800 games of Rapid Chess. 5,800. He's about double your rating. So his peak rating is 1767. Right now it's 1639. He plays with, he was a extended member of the French Olympic chess team or something. Like all of France basically took him under their wing. Yeah, I mean, not actually, but I mean, he's just completely addicted. How many puzzles has he done? 7,500 puzzles. And you've done 2,900. I mean, you think you were obsessed, and you definitely were. I'm not sure.
I know.
I'm not sure this man slept.
Level.
I'm not sure he ate. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what he did was completely healthy. But it shows you,
it takes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nuts. And if you think about it, I always say I've probably played 400,000 games in my life, 500,000 games, which people do the math on sometimes. They're like, that means that since he was born, he's been playing a game like every 40 minutes. And because there were times when I was younger, I'd play 100 games in a day, and I wouldn't feel it because I'm playing fast games. So that's about that. But I'm curious on the creative side.
Okay.
How much did it cost? How much does it cost to make a video like the chess video? Like everything. Do you have a?
So chess is interesting. I don't know if it's a full reflection of what a video usually costs. In terms of hard costs to make a video happen, there are 3 phases. So there's pre-production, which is the cost of me organizing the event, pulling together a crew, creating a schedule of milestone events. So in the chess video, that would have been any training session or the final PogChamps. There's the cost of production, which didn't, really apply in this situation because I was self-filming and, filming the chess stuff is pretty easy. But, when we have people come in like you or Botez or Hikaru, sorry.
Your camera did the thing.
Yeah, I know. When people come in for in-person interviews, we pay a crew for that. So there's that. And then post-production, I would say, is the largest expense for this video because there was so much footage. I think the video has been worked on for 12 weeks in total by 2 different people.
Editors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it has this been the edit? Has it been their highest paid project this year, considering all the editing?
Well, they're not paid by project. They're paid on salary. So we just work on this until it's done. Wow. Now, obviously, they've had to pop off and do other things. Right now, the video is sort of just on hold, waiting for that last piece of footage. But it's a lot because whenever we do these videos, not only are we crafting the structure and digging through the footage, but also specifically with chess, we had to sort of teach our editors, this is what I'm learning. These are the skills I'm learning. This is what the London system is. They have to learn it too, so they know what is important to keep in the video.
Right.
So they end up learning a lot too.
Yeah, a lot of this chess content creation has made me realize that prior to this, chess has always been this is chess and it's on you to learn it. And now it's that's chess and here's a path to learning it and understanding it. And now you can go over there because it always was you have you're on a little piece of land and there's something nice over there, but you need to learn to swim.
Yeah.
And now there's little steps and you can maybe walk across or every now and then you'll have to lunge, but that's the hardest thing about making a video for like your audience on YouTube. There will be people that have never played chess, and you don't want them to get bored 4 minutes in. They're like, I don't understand this.
That is the exact struggle.
So,
You have to find the balance of education and action. So we have to have a balance of like, we teach them enough so they know why me winning this game is so exciting. But also not too much that it's boring, and there's still personality and comedy that can be understood without understanding any chess.
and what about beyond that? Like, I feel like since the chess idea and video has been conceptualized, you've gone paintballing, you rock climbed. What else have you released? You cut hair. I've been keeping up with your channel like much more consistently than before I knew you. So like every video, I'm like, oh no, not the chess video, but I'll watch it anyway. And
I went to Paramedic Academy. That video is coming out top of September.
I remember you were like recording different stuff. Yeah. Was that what state was that? Was it Colorado or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. That's so much stuff. And
yeah,
your business model for the videos, especially the ones that are super intense, like that have much more field work, the main business model would be a major brand deal, right? Like I know some of your videos you worked with headphones, like was it, I don't want to say the wrong company.
Yeah, we worked with like Bose.
Yeah, Bo. I didn't want to say the wrong one. So.
Tic Tac. We've worked with a lot of brands, and I would say like brands definitely make the videos possible on top of AdSense and everything else. Yeah, that's kind of the current business model with merch and other projects coming.
Is there anything we can discuss? Projects coming, or is it still work in progress?
I don't know if I can say yet, but I can tell you after.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's easier than being like, oh, here it is, and then when we finish recording, being like, actually, that part, can I please take out? Samay did that to me.
But it's really cool.
Okay.
It's really cool stuff.
I have some too, and yeah, I can't. It's burning me inside.
Okay, then we have to share secrets after. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Because
your book. Oh my god, I can't believe you're writing a book. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. You conceptualized it and are now leaking it. It's like perfect Fox News style. You know, oh, I said it, so now it's true, and now we're gonna push this. And no, in many ways, when I announce something to the audience, I really enjoy it at this point because I have an awesome community of people. Like on YouTube, we have a ton of inside jokes, and they get really excited. So like when I announced my comeback to tournaments, they were super hyped. They loved the recaps. They watched every one, and I would love to announce a project and work on it, but there's just some stuff you can't announce.
Yeah, and you don't want to get people's hopes up for something that ends up not being possible.
Yeah. Actually, that there's a couple of things like I wanted to ask you about. You're recently you've posted things like your journey through. I want to, like, I guess I don't know the way to describe it. There's one umbrella term you just say like mental health, like personal health and all this stuff, and you've like mentioned how you had to do the ups and downs of feeling like you weren't the best version of yourself, or you weren't making the best content available, or that you could make, for example. That must be like, I sit here and make chess content. It's not that complicated, but you have a whole team of people, and then you have all these different crazy concepts and ideas and things you want to learn to do. I can imagine that takes a pretty massive toll on a person that has to constantly be out there and going and starting activities they know nothing about, right? Like that. How was that for you, and how did you get out of it? Like, I think it's a good story for a lot of people, because when you digest and consume your content, it's all the perfectly edited spots. There's downs in the videos, but you're like a crazy superhuman that learns how to do all this stuff. But I understand that you're also a human being. So how was that for you? I mean, that whole phase of not feeling like you were putting out maybe the best version of yourself, or what was that kind of phase?
Yeah, I think it's been a really revealing and tough year and a half, period. That
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really need too much explanation. And for me, I had a really interesting path because when, let's say, like lockdown started, I was actually sort of on a high. I was starring on a TV show on HBO Max. I had all of these videos backlogged. So I was like, 2 weeks at home won't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And as the months went on, much like everyone experienced, all of those things just started going away. And so I feel like I had the benefit of prolonging the low that I experienced, that a lot of people experience, because we pre-film a lot. I mean, the videos, they take 3 months to film. So,
That's
and a
crazy.
while to edit. So I had a ton of backlog. We were just releasing videos. They were doing well. Um, and then as things came on and whatnot, what really messed me up was not being able to do the challenges in the way that I wanted them to. My videos are very much centered on fully immersing myself in a community. So that means going to the gym, meeting people, training like them, getting to know them, um, traveling, immersing myself in the world. And as everything sort of kept getting extended, I had to pivot into other things, which was fine, but I really missed that level of community. And I felt like I started losing myself in like a downward mental health spiral, stemming from a ton of other things. Like it just felt like everything that could go wrong in my life. And a lot of it I'm not sharing here, obviously,
Yeah.
beyond like, oh no, I can't go to the gym and exercise. It was far, like a lot beyond that. It sort of started piling on. And I felt like I didn't really find myself again until I got my vaccine. And I was like, oh my God, I feel safer. I can, do some things again. And it's really brought this amazing wave of creativity, and like self-worth and self-value, being able to do all of those things again. Cause I've always been a physical person, an athlete. But I don't think I realized not only like how much that it matters to me, but also how much of my identity that is. And when it was taken away, I felt like I didn't have myself anymore. And on top of that, I'm very stubborn about the types of videos that we release on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think our whole team is. We're very, very stubborn. It's an incredibly non-traditional business model to release one YouTube video a month, rather than one a day or even one a week. And so when you have all this pressure of like, I don't want to compromise the quality,
Right.
but also we need to get videos out, but also we need to take a brand deal, to afford all of these things that we do. It's a lot of pressure. And it's very tempting to say, you know what, let's just stop it all and go to daily vlogging. But I don't even know what I would do. Like, that's not who I am. Like, I don't even know what I would vlog. Like, I think my life, I think to other people it seems really exciting, but to me it seems kind of standard and boring. And so I don't even know what I would vlog about. And that's
Yeah.
not the kind of content I want to make. Like, I want to make really impactful, jam-packed educational content and inspiring content. And some of that can be achieved in a daily vlog, but the truth of the matter is it takes a long time. And fortunately, we've seen it pay off in other ways, like brands or production companies or other businesses or creative partners are more interested in working with us because the content is of a certain caliber. But at the same time, there's a lot of like preciousness and perfectionism attached to it. Like, oh, we can't release this video because I don't like the way the sound is mixed, or we need to add this in, and let's pause this video because we want an interview with Levy in the video. Um, so it all comes with its pluses and minuses. And I definitely recognize that what I'm doing is very, very non-traditional.
It's true. Yeah. Well, that's why I asked. It seems crazy to just have so many hours of footage and just pick and choose like activities or a skill or the way people train or everything small from maybe learning to cut hair to Marine boot camp. Like it's such a massive just range of activities. And what completely blows my mind, to be honest, is how you manage, like, first of all, what exactly is required to put this stuff together. Like, it blew me away. Like, at the studio, you got just a whole crew, like, that just is there ready. You know them by name, and they know you, and you record stuff, and that's just 5 or 6 people, 7 people who specialize in their whole thing. Then you got, I'm sure, legal team, and then but at the end of the day, you're the epicenter of it all. So, like, do you just have calls every day where you're checking in on brand deal negotiations or the compliance of the legality of where you're going to be, like, recording and, like, medical insurance? And so every day you have to schedule not just the activity and everything. So, like, okay, so because I'm sure you don't see him. Like, you would be hands off with things like, okay, someone will just get me my flight and I'll just show up to the airport. Like, you kind of take care of your own destiny too. So how do you
say that, like, out of all of the parts of the production process, some people really excel in, like, the filmmaking side or the camera or editing. My strongest suit is definitely in producing. So all the organization, the emailing, the scheduling, crew confirmations, contracts, all of that stuff is where I feel very at home. And it's really nice.
And you're the lead actor or actress, right? So
I think, that you make a great point that while what people see in the videos is like me doing the activity, they don't know that, like, after I've had the worst day playing chess for 4 hours, losing 150 rating points in one sitting, questioning my whole entire, like, life purpose, that I have to go straight from that into training for a physical activity, or sometimes even having a business call or answering emails, that kind of thing. Like, those things are still happening all the time because I'm in front of and behind kind of doing things. I think the craziest story I have of that occurring is in one day, because I'm often training for multiple things at the same time.
Yeah, that's insane. Go on.
Well, we plan them so it's like, a more physical one or a shorter one and a longer one. The craziest day I ever had was, I think, the year before last year. I was doing a video where I was training like a NASA astronaut. And so in the morning, I drove out like 2 hours away to this little airport. We did we did this crazy flight in a fighter pilot, where I was supposed to experience what astronauts feel when they take off in the rocket. So, like, we were like pulling like 6 Gs, like going upside down in this plane, landed like a totally vomited all over the place. Like, it was crazy. And I got back in the car and drove straight from that to a 3-hour ballet training.
Oh my God.
So I went from, like, flying upside down in a fighter jet to, doing arabesques in a ballet studio. And then after that, go home, shower, and do emails.
yeah, right. Like, it's never over. You never know what hour of the day you check the inbox and there's a cool offer and you can't keep it waiting. Like, I'm like a no emails in the inbox kind of individual. So it's like it has to say 0, because that way when it says 1, I get excited. Because otherwise, if it's like 150 or 151, I'm like, did I miss something important? So recently my email's been stuffed because people started realizing I've been checking my emails when viewers send me funny games. So I started making videos just featuring like one game that, like, my subscriber played against, so, and they realized that's, so I'm probably gonna have to find an inbox just for that, just for games. And so it's been kind of stuffed recently, but yeah, I'm like I gotta check every notification, make sure everything's clean. And I have one person who's my team member, basically, and that's my YouTube thumbnail guy. And
dude, he's awesome though.
He is great.
He's so
great.
Good.
he makes art, and it's I've mastered the art of taking a headshot with my Sony camera, cropping a bigger head, and then adding something stupid on the right or the left side. I can't do anything else. But I'm lucky that I have an audience that if I name a video funny and put a little bit of a dumb thumbnail, they'll still click. And I can still give them good content. It's never going to be bad content. But if he like ever takes 2 days off, or he just moved from Moldova to Amsterdam, or not Amsterdam, but a city in the Netherlands, I'm one of these idiots who like, for me, the Netherlands is Amsterdam and I don't know anything else. Like for some, Spain is just Madrid, and there's no other, even though Spain is incredibly culturally rich and has tons of cities. So I always say Amsterdam, and I mean just somewhere in the Netherlands. So he just moved there for college. This dude is going to be starting college and still making mine and Hikaru's thumbnails. I was like, dude, how are you going to have time for this? He's like, I have to pay rent. Like, how am I?
Oh my God.
So, yeah, he's the MVP, but it's just him. And recently, I started commissioning Daily Dose of Chess, who made some funny chess clip compilations to manage my second channel, where this podcast and my clips are posted. So,
oh well, hello to them.
Yeah,
Daily Dose of Chess.
that guy's great. But that's it. And I'm always fascinated about the way it works in LA. Like, it's a whole ecosystem of creators and production, and I mean, obviously it's really,
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, grass is always greener, right? I envy the fact that like your content, you can shoot it, you can edit it, upload it in a day. It's very low, like low ask, low risk, high reward. That's not how it is for me.
I guess I'll be honest. I don't envy the amount of people you have to manage. But what I do, I'm like fascinated by the content, and when I think about it, like I want content that's made like that to be rewarded. So if you were to buy a $3 million house, I would not cancel you on Twitter like Hassan.
Oh my God, that was so stupid.
Yeah, that was fascinating. So, if you end up buying a big home, then I'll be like, hype, there you go. The challenges were accepted and duly rewarded.
Yeah.
Because, I can barely learn to do anything. But recently it's been...
What?
Well, I can't, like, I don't know the last skill that I learned,
Okay, literally, well, I'm not a chess master. Okay, I'm not an international master.
That actually is a really fascinating thing to think about. What is the last skill that I guess driving? Driving is the last skill? I gotta learn more stuff, Michelle.
Any of your like any of the lines you've learned in chess recently for this over the board tournament?
It's all chess, It's all chess.
Well, you've also been going on your own health and fitness journey.
Yeah, that is true. I broke a lot of personal records and like mini restrictions, and
that's great.
I never deadlifted. I was kind of afraid of squatting because my lower back, but I like kind of figured out good form. Yeah, I plateaued at a lot of weights when I was younger, and it kind of was intimidating, but now I'm like, sky's the limit. So it's not a skill, but yeah, I guess it's a personal barrier.
That's amazing. And I think that's another thing that makes our content hard, is that not only am I like doing the thing and also producing it, but also the struggles I show are absolutely real. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm literally going through those things. And also, I think people are often scared to try new things, and sometimes for good reason. It's very vulnerable. It's scary. It doesn't feel good mentally to be bad at something all the time. And I'm constantly thrusting myself in environments where I'm going to fail. That's really hard.
Yep. I'm not. I played the same board game for 20 years. So when I lose in Blitz, I get mad, but it's more because like, I'm supposed to win. Yeah. So I definitely want to, I don't know if I'm the kind of person that wants to learn something completely from scratch, but I want to, I guess, experience many different things. So foods or travel, things of that nature. But yeah, as I find more free time, I guess learning some new stuff would be good. I want to learn to like cook pretty well. Like, for example, I want to know more about wine, but I just don't have the time. I was in the liquor store yesterday. I'm looking at all these wines. Like, I want to buy a kind of expensive wine, but I have no idea if this is worth the price or anything. Like, you know, do you have any friends that like specialize in something? We have some friends. This guy knows everything about wine, and he collects little tape off the cork and like has it in a little book and writes a note on the book. I'm like, dude, what are you, like 70 years old? This is such an old person activity. Like, I don't know.
That's wild. High class.
I know,
High
right?
class
Like,
friendship.
He's yeah, and we sit there like, I don't know, $2 Trader Joe's wine tastes good.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
So, I don't know. People are interested in so much different stuff that I'm like relatively one-dimensional outside of the chess. There was this individual that was talking to me about a potential like mini documentary through chess.com. I might have just leaked that. Nothing like insane, nothing for Netflix or anything like that. But he's like, so what do you do during the day? Can I like follow you around? I was like, bro, you want to follow me on a bike to the gym? That is the most exciting part of my day. I do not do that much. How do you ever find that during the day you have zero free time?
Yeah.
Like literally it's like 11 p.m. already and you just did the whole day and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the schedule is pretty packed, but also Garrett was really good at helping me with this, like implementing, like we're not working past 5:30, period. And that was really hard for me in the beginning because the first couple of years, you're just like, the video has to come out tomorrow and I'm staying up until it's done.
Yep.
And you do what it takes. And it's also really exciting, but also it's not sustainable after a certain period of time. So now we have pretty strict work hours. And, that has been really, really helpful. Another thing I did was I used to like train on the weekends for my challenges. And now I'm like no training on the weekends. Like weekends has to be
really
completely. Yeah.
I guess I kind of echo that. I need to make a video, but I don't stress. Sometimes on a Sunday I'll upload some more evergreen stuff, so it's not like it has to hit the algorithm. And but yeah, I totally agree. But
you're uploading way more than I am. Like you're putting out far more content.
It's hard to find stuff that is interesting, and I'm not gonna lie, I might run out of ideas one day, but I have literally a sticky note right here on this monitor of like 20 video ideas. And
okay, that's pretty great. I don't think I could come up with that many video ideas for chess.
How do you brainstorm? Do you do like an organized session, or like it just comes to you like you're making food and you just go, what about this idea? And then that's like what happens to me. I'll be like doing something. I'm like, what about this idea? And then so the first thing, actually my YouTube process, the first thing I think about is the thumbnail. Then I get it made. I have like 20 thumbnails I've never used for good videos. Yeah. So I just paid my guy, and I'll pick one every now and then. That's how I do it.
That's awesome. We usually think about, like, sometimes we'll have organized sessions. Sometimes they just like come, but often I'll sort of start with obviously the title and thumbnail. Oh my God, someone is blowing leaves outside. Is that okay? Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So sometimes I'll start with title, thumbnail. I think that's a really good approach that a lot of YouTubers take. Girl, I'm sorry. They're literally right here.
That's okay. This will be the most exciting podcast episode yet. There will be a leaf blower for a few minutes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so usually start with the title and thumbnail, but a lot of times the topics that I explore are requested by the community, or sometimes they're topical. Like for a long time, we haven't made this video. No one take it. I'll be really mad. I really wanted to make a video on Barbie and like the history of Barbie, because I feel like there's something really special there that we could explore in Challenge Accepted, and that could be uncovered about, women in media, and, the dolls that you play with should reflect the life that you want to have for yourself.
Isn't it like really messed up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So
like most historical treatment of women. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Very
For
good.
example, like a video I really wanted to do that we did do was a series where I entered a beauty pageant.
Right.
And that was a really amazing experience. So, and that also was just like, I've also just wondered, like, this is a thing that exists. What is it actually like to do it? It seems kind of sketchy. So uncovering things that I think have been ingrained into society but have a different perspective to offer, I think is really interesting too.
I was gonna pause there briefly if that continued and offered to just pause recording period, but it seems like it stopped. It's almost like the person with the leaf blower knows when you're gonna talk.
I know.
So then they like blow. That's not a New York thing. Like here we just have garbage all over the street. Like I don't know the last time I've seen a leaf blower. That's a great question. I actually legitimately don't know. Because no one blows leaves here. Like we just kind of exist and litter on the street. And I did notice that actually shockingly, traffic in LA was not that bad, although we did see many car accidents, and it was actually like fascinatingly clean. Maybe I was cherry picked on the destinations, but I was like looking around like, dude, New York's got y'all beat on just people throwing stuff on the ground. Well, yeah, the grind is fascinating, and I didn't actually know that you take like weekends off and you actually get time to relax. That's good because and you also have time to go on vacation. Like mini vacation, right?
Yeah, a little. I don't know. I feel like taking the weekends off was like a mandatory. It was just getting to the point where my mind and body were so fried that it was unproductive work completely.
Oh yeah, you're like doing. So I'll catch myself sometimes at 10:45 p.m. like as a video is rendering, reviewing some lines on my computer because the video's like over here. And I'm like, what am I doing? This is not good work.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to. I've even noticed my body will slouch a lot more. Like I can't stay straight, and I'm like this when I'm recording, and I'm like, all right, dude, the body's telling me I gotta stop sitting. Like I can't be sitting any longer. So I'll stand up. I haven't yet mounted. I have this mini tripod. I haven't mounted my camera on it because then the standing desk will be able to move. Otherwise, it's just standing there. So, man, I'm excited for this video, this chess video to come out.
Me too.
I hope it's gonna be everything that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Oh, we also had a Queen's. Sorry, I'm on camera. We also had a Queen's Gambit photo shoot. For the thumbnail. A thumbnail's good. We took a page out of Levy thumbnails.
Well, my thumbnails are okay. They're not. Actually, they're top of the line. Yeah. I don't want to discredit my
your one employee.
No, he's awesome. I just mean that. Yeah, we've never done like photo shoots or anything. I just send him headshots of this camera, and then I'm like, yeah, just do something with it.
Well, we also just wanted to do it because it was fun. I'm gonna send you the thumbnail. I want you to see it.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. I love dropping in stuff like that, and then the audience is sitting there like, "What? We want to see." I'm like, "Sorry, you have to be friends with the podcast and the the host and the guest." I always notice that you are posting cooking stories on Instagram. Always making the food. Do you have like an inspirational chef, or how did you get into cooking?
Well, I feel like I've had to, just for like all the videos we've done. There are a lot of diet changes I have to make based on what I'm training for. Are
there? Don't you you eat pretty clean? So what specifically do you have to change?
So sometimes for some of the challenges, I have to eat like a lot more or a lot less, or, far more protein than carbs. But
really,
yeah.
Wow. So it almost can be like training for a fight, because like the mixed martial artists, right, will change their diet a bit. Like they'll maybe in between fight camps as I battle with my hair. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Every
I got you.
challenge, I usually change my diet in some way.
Have you tried like the different like keto, paleo, or is it just kind of like eat more protein or don't do this? And okay.
I think some of those things are a little gimmicky, if I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And I think like everyone says it, but you have to find what works best for you. So within the context of things, like I don't think anyone's ever been like, you got to go keto for this situation. But typically it's like, okay, I'm going to be doing a lot more cardio for this challenge. So I'm going to have to probably, make a lot more rice or pasta or something, because I'm going to be burning so many calories.
I see.
Whereas for some challenges, the workouts are far shorter. So it's more about like, okay, I'm going to increase my protein and vegetables here.
I got you.
Yeah.
I remember we've discussed this kind of the origin story of all this, and the challenge accepted and everything. You were at BuzzFeed. So you were, I don't remember exactly. I'm not sure if we spoke about like exactly when you were working there, but were you working when it was like brand new? Because like I remember when BuzzFeed burst on the scene, and it was a fascinating new way to consume media. Like it was kind of a news org, but it wasn't, because it had a lot of lifestyle stuff, and they did things a bit differently. The quizzes was a big factor. So how did you, like, when you got in, was it super exciting to be part of like a company that was involved in media / news and the whole kind of, because it was such a new sort of concept, right? In terms of the like, well, take me through all that, and then how you left, and then ultimately you were also a professional cyclist. How did you go from riding professional bikes to this, right? So how did all that go?
So growing up and then through college, I feel like I always had this pipe dream of being in entertainment, but I never felt like there was a strategic path to get there. It felt like all the stories I heard were, I started out as so-and-so's assistant, and then I got a lucky break,
and
kind of thing.
Your family is entertainment, or
no, not at all. My family's in science.
Like medicine, research.
Yeah, my dad is in medicine. My grandfather was a biology professor.
So how was that received, that you wanted to go into entertainment? Was it negative? Was it like or was it more?
I think it was more like what is your plan?
Okay,
what are you going to do?
Yeah,
because I don't, are you gonna
me too,
just move out without a plan and
just go to LA and figure it out. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I feel like that's romanticized a lot, because a lot of the success stories we hear are, I moved to LA, I was a waiter, and 2 weeks later I was a series regular on Friends, whatever that may be. And I just knew, like, for me, I don't really feel like I've experienced too much luck. I feel like a lot of the things that have come to me have come from like, not just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I feel like anything I've ever wanted, I've had to work my ass off to get. So with that like methodology, I was like, you know what? I need to find some sort of path in here. And at the time, BuzzFeed was like a new emerging company where you could have a job, a salary job, but be talent and work on a YouTube channel. And it was completely different from, I'm going to just take the next 2 months and see if I can go viral on YouTube, which of course works for a lot of people.
Right.
But I was like, I just don't think that's going to work for me, because I'm very procedural. I want to learn, like, what is the path to success? What are the steps I need to take? And BuzzFeed offered that. So I applied and got accepted to become an intern there, and I moved and worked there, and I was there for a few years, just sort of like learning everything that it takes to make a video go viral. And there it was sort of like graduate school for YouTube. It was crazy getting to learn all the things we did.
How did they know it though? Did they have
Because of
YouTube
a lot of-
insiders or?
I don't think so. The crazy thing about BuzzFeed was that we were putting out so much content, we were just testing constantly. Like, put out anything. Oh, that went viral. Why did it go viral? Let's figure that out. But because unlike, when you do it by yourself, you're the one doing everything, and maybe you only get one video out a week that you can get feedback on. Here at BuzzFeed, we were putting out like 50 videos a week.
I remember that. Yeah, that was crazy. Were they the ones that invented Tasty?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. That hit Facebook. Facebook was really big. When are we 2 years apart or 3? I'm 25. 25 and 3.
I'm 29.
We're 4 years apart. Oh. Okay, so Facebook was big when I was like 12 to 16, 12 to 17.
That's so weird.
So like Facebook was the big one, and like I had a MySpace for like 8 months or something, and then like that immediately fell off and Facebook kind of took over. So I remember on Facebook we started seeing videos when we were writing on each other's walls about Tasty and the cooking stuff. So you got the BuzzFeed thing, and I remember it was very common to make the leaving BuzzFeed videos. Was that? And was that like supposed to be tongue in cheek, or was it supposed to be just like a last gasp? Like, oh, I'm leaving, but I'm still gonna put out a fun video, and it'll be like tradition.
Well, I think that it began because back in the beginning, we weren't really credited on the videos for the work that we were doing. So anytime people grew a following, it was because people would like research, oh, who is the person in this video, then follow them. So there were a lot of barriers to like transitioning your own audience over. And when you left the company, there wasn't like a formal way to share with the BuzzFeed community, hey, I'm doing my own thing now. Follow me over here.
Yep.
And so people started making these videos. I guess some people did it because, a variety of reasons. People want to share their truth, which is great. Not everyone has a positive experience there. Okay. Certainly, I had my own ups and downs. For me, I was just kind of like, okay, I know people will click on this video. What's the craziest thing I could do? Okay. So I decided to make it like a movie trailer with like fights, like a cinematic movie trailer with fight scenes, and it like tells the story of like, I'm finally leaving to do my own thing. And I was like, that's just really fun. And people are going to click on it and be surprised when it's not a tea video. It's sort of like a self-aware thing, because my goal at the time and now was to be in like an action movie. And I was like, hell, if people are definitely going to click on this, may as well show them my skills, I guess. So I like got a stunt team to design a fight scene, and we filmed this whole trailer, and it was super, super fun. And I had way more fun doing that than I think I would have spilling all the tea personally for me. That said, there's stuff I would have changed about my experience for sure.
Where is cycling in this timeline? Is it after?
Oh. So when I graduated, I got signed to a professional cycling team kind of at the same time I started my job at BuzzFeed.
At BuzzFeed. Oh.
Yeah.
Casual.
When I started the job, I didn't know like how long it would be, because originally it was like a 3-month contract, and then you're reevaluated for an extension until you get full time. And I was like, well,
God, that sucks. Oh my God. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. No, it's great. Please don't sue me. Okay, I see. That's not very stable.
And I had found a lot of, success in cycling, and I really enjoyed it. I loved riding my bike. And so I thought, why can't I have the best of both worlds? And I'll do both. So that was a very stressful time, but I pretty much was waking up 5 a.m., training for a
What?
few hours, go to work until 5:30, come home, go to the gym, eat, go to sleep, do it all over again. And then on Friday nights, I would finish work, drive to the airport, fly somewhere, race all weekend, fly back, do it all over again.
Most people don't go from riding a bike for fun to like professional cycling. So how did that happen? Like, were you a triathlon? I mean, a triathlete, or like, did you cycle your whole life? Or
No, absolutely not. I had no cardiovascular background. A lot of people come from like running track or something.
so
I
how
was
did you?
awful. The way it happened for me was during college, I came to Los Angeles for an internship
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have any friends, but I saw people riding bikes. And I was like, okay, maybe if I get a bike, I could like join a training group and exercise, and that'll be
Uh-huh.
a fun social activity. And I didn't have any friends, so I just kept going all the time.
Wait, so you got
And
the bike and still had no friends?
well, I had bike friends, but like I meant
Oh,
outside of that.
well, so
Yeah, I had friends.
you
I
got
had
some friends. There you go.
I got some friends.
I was like,
Um,
geez, what an investment. I'm gonna buy this bike and I'm still not gonna have any friends.
I got a pretty cheap bike, and I just kept going and I fell in love with seeing different sites. Like I love the feeling of like finishing an 80-mile ride and then just like eating like a ton of food and seeing all the different parts of the mountains in LA, getting out of the city, like the view from the top of the Santa Monica Mountains, looking down at the ocean. Like I truly think that nothing compares to that. Not that, anything's better or worse, but that is a very specific, unique feeling that I believe can only be had if you're a runner or a cyclist in nature. And it was just so fun. Like I felt like I was seeing Los Angeles in a completely different way than most people do. Most people only see the city, but I was seeing like the tall mountains, just like going to all these cool places. I mean, it is a mode of transportation, so it was really fun. And then just naturally I got good at it and I'm competitive. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll join the cycling team when I get back to Dartmouth. And I did. And because I had been training in California all winter instead of on the East Coast, I started winning races and I went to nationals. And yeah.
That is crazy. Most people who win a nationals do it their whole life. So, you picked it up on an internship. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. Wow.
I guess like all of my challenges are sort of rooted in that love of let's just go hard and fast at this thing. Let's just go 100 miles an hour right out the gate.
Have you ever and you never got injured? Like, you never?
I'm literally knocking on wood right now.
That's great. That's awesome. That's
No, I did. I had a really bad crash right before nationals, my senior year, actually. I was on a training ride and we were going very fast down like a small, like kind of dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit a pothole and skidded all across the road at like 30 miles an hour. Because it was like on a downhill. I lost all the skin on my arm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is. I thought you were knocking on wood because you never got injured. That
No,
doesn't.
I'm knocking on wood because I don't ever want anything like that to happen again.
Yeah, listen, I fell in 11th grade in gym class and I got astroturf burn on my knee. And
yeah.
I couldn't walk straight for 2 weeks, so I cannot imagine.
Yeah, I still have a scar from it. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. I feel like I can't aim it the right way. But like this whole dark mark here, and then
Wow.
on my shoulder too.
And
Trust me, you don't want to see what is underneath your epidermis.
Yeah. No. My skin was like 4 different colors on my knee. And I went home and I put an alcohol wipe on it.
Oh. Oh. I just feel that pain. I feel it.
Yeah, I was like 15, 16. I didn't realize what I was about to do. It didn't feel good. Let's put it
No.
this way. It probably disinfected it, but it didn't feel great. And then you stopped, right? Because you can't really do it long term as a career, right? You were saying that, didn't you have to buy your own bikes or something?
Well, so the team provides the bikes, but what happened with me was my contract ended, and like a week after it ended, someone broke into my apartment and stole all my bikes. And it was just a few months before I eventually left my job. And at that time, I was like, I can't afford a freaking, I think my bikes were valued at $8,000 to $10,000 each.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
That's gifted by the sponsor,
That's
so a
crazy
lot
to
of
me.
times what professional female cyclists do, because we're not paid as much as the male counterparts, is that at the end of the season, you sell your bike and you get, 10 grand, like anywhere from 5 to 10 grand in your pocket. It's a really nice way to end the season. And you have money, and then your sponsor will get you a new bike. But I lost mine, and I didn't have another contract lined up because professional cycling is really hard. And I didn't have any impressive race results from my pro year. So I didn't get re-signed or anything. And at that point I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use my fitness after a year of pro cycling and put it into the other things. So that's when I decided to leave, start my own channel, and just really apply that physical ability in other arenas.
Do you remember the day that Challenge Accepted was born?
Oh my God. I don't. I feel like I should. That's a really important milestone in my life. I don't remember.
Well,
No clue.
But when you first started, was it different physical challenges that you were going to take on with like cinematic effect?
Yeah.
Like, what was the first
That was
concept for the channel?
So the first concept that we did was I was training like different superheroes. So I would like train
Okay.
with Spider-Man stunt double for 6 weeks. And then we would shoot a little short film where I played Spider-Man and did the stunts and everything. And that was amazing. We were nominated for the Streamies for that, which was really cool. And then it sort of evolved into just trying lots of different things, because at a certain point, all of the superheroes sort of overlap.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this one does martial arts. Okay, this one does martial arts.
Also,
okay, this one
could be hard to imitate Iron Man.
Right, because like people are like, train like Wonder Woman. I'm like, Wonder Woman is entirely CG, entirely.
Yeah.
Even the lasso. Like, what do you want me to do?
Just use a lasso, like
Right.
tie people up with a lasso.
Well, I actually did look into that. I thought about, I was going to train with a cowboy.
Cowherd,
and
yeah.
literally learn how to
That's
lasso.
hilarious. Yeah, actually, yeah, that'd be fascinating. Would you do bullfighting, or is that like abusing animals? That's not.
Well, that was just scary.
Oh, scary, yeah.
And the animal stuff for sure.
Yeah, because you
both.
You got to think about that stuff, right? You got to think about, well, that's actually, they're very inhumane with the bulls. Like, all right, yep, very true. Yes.
There are definitely things that I would not do ever, that I think, like from a safety perspective, are too far for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Inclusive of bullfighting.
Yeah, we were just. That's the beauty of the podcast. That's like the one thing that I thought of. What are some of the next ones? I don't know if you can. Do you ever leak, or do you just record and then?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
So upcoming, we have the video where I went to Paramedic Academy. That one is going to be really crazy because, so for that video, I did an overnight shift with a real paramedic team where I went on real calls with them. Like, we were woken up in the middle of the night, had to hop in the ambulance, everything. That was crazy. And then at the end,
what if that night there were no calls?
that was a concern.
Oh, okay.
We were like, what happens if nothing happens? Now, obviously, if no one's calling 911, that's a great thing.
That is a great thing. Yeah, that is true. That's true.
But we planned like a couple. I think we had one night and then we had a second night buffer just in case. We're like, oh, if we want to go back. We ended up going on some crazy calls, and then for the end, they put together for my final challenge. This is actually crazy. They crashed 2 cars together. They have this actor who's wearing this special thing called a cut suit that operates like the human body. Like you can cut it open and see like fake organs. You can like give it a cricothyrometry. It has like a heartbeat, everything. It's crazy. And so they like had somebody in there and I had to go rescue them. You should watch the video because it's really, really good. Oh my God. I watched the edit yesterday and I cried 3 times watching it. It's so good.
I don't cry watching my own videos. Maybe at like how I look or how my hair looks.
Because there's some really impactful stuff in there. Like we go on a call for a drug overdose. We go on a call for suicidal ideation. We went on a COVID positive call. Like everything that has occurred in the past year and a half.
Of all those things, the COVID positive one is probably the best. That's considering the other ones seem pretty grim. I never thought I would say that.
They were all awful and very, very eye-opening and inspiring.
But how could you film? You only had to film yourself because you like can't film the patient, right? You can't. It's very tricky.
So what we did because obviously we had a ton of meetings because I was like, I want to experience the real thing. And to be clear, doing a ride along in an ambulance is common practice. Training paramedics do it. Sometimes journalists do it. It's like a normal thing. So that's allowed. But obviously patient safety, security, their treatment was number 1 priority. So what we did was we had an entire protocol when we arrived on scene to protect the patient's identity, but also that we could like film the paramedics doing what they're doing. So you never hear or see the patient talk. Everything is blurred. And it's more focused on like, so on that call, this is what happened. And here's the treatment we decided to take. So it's entirely focused on the paramedic's position than it is on the patient. Because that was really, really important to us. Not just like from a legal perspective, like HIPAA, but also ethically.
Yeah.
And I had a place once we arrived on scene, I would get out of the way to make sure people are receiving the top level healthcare they should receive.
Yeah, you jamming a needle into someone might result in a lawsuit or 2.
Yeah, I did take someone's heart rate.
Oh my God, so I thought you were about to say blood. I was like, oh,
no,
I would have vomited.
Dude. Yeah, they gave me, they're like, okay, here are some things you can do to help to interact with the patient. So I did those things, which is very intense when you're dealing with a live patient.
Yeah, that's
having the worst day of their life.
Or second or third.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I've never...
You never call 911 on a good day.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, I've called 911 4 times in my life. Once I was 7, and it was an accident. It wasn't an accident. They just showed up at the house. I was one of those kids. I was like, what happens if I do this? Every time I've called the cops in my life, nothing's happened. Like they show up, and every time it's like like burglary, like I have stuff stolen or whatever. I think once I called the police, someone was reckless driving on the highway. So just being terrible, endangering people. That one was actually pretty cool because some asshole was in a sports car brake checking people on the highway and then speeding away. And for those that don't know, that's when you accelerate quickly, get in front of a car and hit the brakes so that you screw with them, and if they hit you, then they're theoretically
legally liable.
Yeah, theoretically they're liable because they hit you, and it looks like they didn't slow down. So I called the cops while we were driving, and all of a sudden I hear like a car was just like a couple hundred feet behind us, just on the highway, and it was an undercover, and it was like and it just drove forward super fast. I don't know if they caught him, but I was like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Crazy.
But paramedics, yeah, luckily not. I think my family has always tried to drive themselves to the hospital because ambulances cost a lot of money in this country.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, my mom, when she was pregnant with my little brother, had like an emergency, like 2 months into the pregnancy. Like they went to the hospital. They did not take an ambulance. That's the stuff you got to think about in the States, which is crazy.
I know.
Yeah, that's.
So we have that one.
Oh yeah, that was one. Well, what else?
I did a video where I attempted to learn a backflip in 24 hours.
Yo,
So I was like, that's cool.
That is terrifying.
Did
you learn
it?
it?
You gotta watch the video.
Okay, true. Is there a launch date? Because this episode will air the second week of September. So
that should hopefully be around when the chess video comes out. Maybe we can time it together.
okay, there you go.
And obviously this conversation, you know what? I'm going to do it. I just got to get on and play a rated game.
Don't do it now. I don't want to be here live. If you win, that's hype, but I'm also equally terrified. What if you get to 999?
Then I'm literally calling my friend Christina, who's like 400. We're going to play one game and I'm going to get 1 point.
Oh my God. That's, dude,
I'm not risking this shit, Levy. I've come too far.
They're going to hate you, dude. They're going to hate you.
I know. Okay, fine. I won't do that. I better not. If we get 999, I'm calling you. It'll be like live hotline on Twitch. Zoom call Levy. Levy!
I'm 999. Yeah, I've had that.
I'm going to 911 Levy.
That's so funny. Okay, so there's this. Is there a third one?
Third one. Okay, chess. Paramedic. Oh my God, yeah. A really big one that I did this summer was, so I've been trying to do these videos where it's like, okay, we're going to do a video where we just shoot it in a day and it's over. Yay. Like easier lift.
Like rock climbing? Like that one? That one
was 2 weeks.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, you made it look so simple. Okay.
Well, no, it was only 1 week. So I had like 2 days of training and then we shot the final challenge. So 3 days. I don't know why I said that. Okay. That one was 3 days. But this one, like I was literally like, I want to do a video where I can just shoot it in a day and it's a great video. It's over. So this other YouTuber named Austin Alexander reached out to me. He does like military content. He's like, hey, have you ever thought about trying the Navy SEAL physical screening test? And it's a simple test. You have to like swim, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and then a timed run. And I was like, oh my God, this is a great video idea. People would probably love to see me attempt this and we can get it done in a day. Easy. So we shoot the video and I failed the test. Hardcore failed. Like failed the test. I passed like a couple of the events, but then I failed the pull-ups and the run. And I just ended the day. And okay, this is the chess video coming back. I was like, you know how I was like, I'm not happy with my performance in Pog Champs. I was like, I cannot fucking release this video. I was like, and not because I'm embarrassed by it, but I was just like, and not because I'm embarrassed by it, but because I was just like, what am I doing? Like these videos, they're about like, you go in, you put 104% in, and then you see results. That's what it's going to be. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm training for this. So then Austin designed me a plan and I trained for 15 weeks, swimming, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, 5 days a week.
What do you have to do? What is the test?
So the test, it's a 500-meter swim that you have to do in under 12 minutes.
How much is 500 meters swimming? Olympic pool? Like how many laps?
Yeah, like I think if it's an Olympic pool, it's 5 laps. And if it's I have the math wrong. We did it correctly in the video, just for everyone learning. But yeah, it's a pretty good distance. And then you have to do at least 50 push-ups unbroken in a row in under 2 minutes. And that's the minimum. You have to do at least 50 sit-ups in a very like specific technique under 2 minutes. Then you have to do 10 pull-ups, no rest, unbroken, chin fully above the bar.
That's the one I'd get the closest. I could do like 7.
That's the one I failed. I only got 4.
I saw you. I was
time.
surprised because you're always uploading workout stuff, and then all of a sudden it was like only pull-ups. I'm like, why would you do
That's
this
what
to
I was
yourself?
working
That's what
on.
you were. Yeah,
And then
that
the
makes sense.
run is you have to run a 1.5 miles. So 1.5 miles run in less than 10.5 minutes.
Oh,
So that's sub 7 pace.
I would vomit. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I recently only hit a little bit of a stride in long distance running, doing loops around the neighborhood, and I finished my
Great.
first loop, and yeah, like I did my loop, and I'm like, wait, I'm feeling awesome. I'm gonna keep going, and I did the second loop. By the second loop, I was like very tired, but I swore I ran like 5 miles. I felt so good. I opened my app, 3.75. I was like, what?
I know the feeling. The feeling.
So
Yeah.
now I know that loop that I did was like 1.86, like 1.87, depending on which turns I take. And yeah, the most recent time I did one loop, but I did like a 9-minute pace. I just, a 7-minute pace is disgusting. Oh God. But I'm sure, like with everything, the more consistent you are, the easier it gets. So
Yeah, and it was awful in the beginning because I was like, coming out of lockdown and everything, I was like, I feel like I should have been able to pass this thing. But I've never been good at pull-ups, really. So that was what I had to work on the most, and then getting my cardio back in a place where I could beat the run.
did you beat it?
Well, I'm gonna watch the video.
But like, if you were to just run, if you were to just go to the gym and run, you can run like a consistent, like 8 pace, sub 8 pace, or
I could beat the run. Now,
I got you.
Having
Wow.
done the training.
Are you in the best shape of your life because of all of this? Like, because of all the training that you do? Strength, like
My body and fitness change all the time because when I finish a challenge, I start, I'm not going to use the word decline, but like I start losing some of that fitness ability because I usually, once I finish a big physical challenge, I take a week off, like nothing,
okay.
no exercise. I'm still working and editing stuff, but no exercise except bare minimum. And then obviously we have a celebratory week of dinners. So things sort of, I would say my body changes all the time,
Interesting.
but I'm always in the best shape. Like the 2 weeks leading up to any final challenge is when I'm in like the best.
The sport I follow, like the closest is basketball, but the second one is mixed martial arts, and it is kind of similar. Like the fight's over, so in the next like few months or whatever, well, fighters will like balloon in size because they also cut tons of weight to make. But it's not like
crazy.
that. Yeah, that's nice. Do you have like a go-to celebratory meal and dessert or like routine? What is it? Like pizza?
I just like to go to a nice restaurant.
Okay. Do you do like a new one every time, or you have like a consistent one?
It's a different one.
Yeah, I like doing that. Like I'm very much like that with movies, books. Like if I do it once, I'm like, hey, that was good. I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need it a second time. Particularly for the fancy ones. But if I'm like just quickly hungry, then.
But I also think that something I do differently is that I think there's I used to have a mindset, for example, when I was doing cycling that, when I'm in my training, I'm not veering off the diet. I'm super strict. And that actually ended up working severely against me. So a lot of times in my videos, I know we were talking about like changing diet and whatnot, but also I'm still also eating the things that I like to eat and, having dessert. Because if you're burning that many calories and your body's under that much stress, I think it's important to eat what you want to. So,
Also good for mental health, I would imagine, not to like starve yourself of things you like.
Yeah, and it's just fun. I've learned that like if it's not fun, you're not like it's just gonna be impossible to accomplish anything. You have to have it be fun.
Oh man, I can really use that advice from my Grandmaster journey.
Yeah.
I always say I hate classical chess, and I hate like the 5-6 hour games. And even on past episodes of this podcast, I've been like, I hate the whole. I don't know if I'm going to be a GM, man. Like,
Is the only way to become a GM by winning classical games at tournaments?
Yeah. You can't do it
Dude,
through speed games.
No. I mean,
so
do
I'm,
it.
I'm playing in a. I'm gonna try to play a tournament a month. So I'm playing a tournament in the beginning of September, which is called a closed event, like a round robin. So I know all my opponents beforehand because they have to meet certain criteria to run those events. And I am the weakest player by 70 points. So everyone is 70 points or higher rated above me.
So you have nothing to lose.
That's
such
actually
a great position to be in.
That is a good way of thinking about it. I don't actually think there's 70 points or more in terms of strength, but definitely I lost a lot of ratings since I became an international master. So yeah, I think about it like I have nothing to lose, but at the same time, it's sort of like a bit of a golden ticket because I should be what rating they are. I just slacked and didn't study, didn't care as much about tournaments. And
well, let's change that mindset. You were doing other things in your life. You were having experiences that I bet none of those people have had.
That's
You're
true,
running
yeah.
an incredibly successful YouTube channel and Twitch channel.
I can't say that. Like people have to say that about it. I can't be like I'm running a very successful. So I have to.
You just did. You got to acknowledge it, man. You have to.
It's
So
true.
you have not been slacking. Don't say that about yourself.
You know what I decided to do? Like in the chess world, there is a very high price on your preparation, like your opening preparation. I've just been recording myself playing training games against an anonymous individual. And every week I've actually leaked lines that I've been working on. But my logic is that I'm leaking so many different lines. It's not.
They won't know what to expect.
Yeah, and it kind of helps because every week I need to, like, even today I'm playing a training game in an hour. So I have to like do a little prep on my opponent's openings and then come up with something that will surprise them and get me hopefully in an advantageous situation. So I never thought about doing that. And then people love that and they also love the recaps. So I'm like, you know what, whatever, screw it. I'll do it, and people are excited. And actually, I was always planning to kind of sign off on like asking you this question, so it's a good way to like segue. Like I said, I get a lot of support from my community. Like I noticed my engagement in terms of the comments. We frequently will have 4 or 5 times more than the average amount of comments on a YouTube video, like for chess. Like we'll easily cross 1,000. People making inside jokes from video to video, from something I said a month ago or whatever. And I understood that engagement is super important. So I'll like jump into my comments and pin like hateful comments because I think they're hilarious.
Yes.
But there's also the element of like shaping I don't know how exactly to describe it. I guess I want to use the word inspire, but I don't want to use it about myself. Like you're much more inspirational, but people do get inspired from my content and they do come to me as a consistent source of like chess education and entertainment.
Yeah.
But what's like your whole mindset in terms of just engaging with the audience? Like you engage with all sorts of people. I mean, I see you like all the time, getting feedback from folks. Does that just come naturally? And one more thing I was curious about, like your viewer demographic. Are you inspiring more like young women, or is it a split? Like I'll tell you, I'm 97% male because it's chess, or 96% now. But
yeah,
so I have to think about stuff like this. I try to like shape views on the gender gap or the way that men would treat women because I'm speaking much more to men. So stuff like that. I'm just curious how much of your thought process goes into like making the awesome content, but also the inspiring the people, the viewers and everything.
Yeah. Well, my audience is primarily women, 18 to 24-ish. And I think when I started my YouTube channel, one of the things I've always said to myself was all I want to do, well, this isn't all I want to do, but the goal, the true goal is to inspire one person with this video I'm uploading. If they could just change their lifestyle in one small way to do something more positive, whether it is, today I am going to go outside and get active, or today I, am going to do one positive thing towards this big goal that I have because I've been inspired by this video. That to me is the biggest measure of success, far more than the views or the likes or the comments. Obviously, those have to matter at a certain point because you have to keep things sustainable. So they definitely do matter to me. But that is the part that gets me most excited is when people message like, hey, I began this journey today, or I've been consistent with this practice I've been always wanting to do because I saw this video. That for me is what gets me most inspired. And of course, I have a special place in my heart for women and women of color because that's how I identify. And if I can inspire more people from those communities to be the superhero they can be, that would be really awesome because I didn't even really go out with the intention on the channel of, helping more people who are like me see themselves as strong and capable. And it wasn't until we were several videos in that I was like, I I don't know another firefighter that's Indian female. I don't know another like FBI agent who comes from the background that I do. And not that those are like necessarily professions everyone needs to explore, but I think it's really important for people to see themselves in that way. Or even the superhero series that we did, showing myself as a Indian woman playing Spider-Man, playing Black Widow, playing all of these heroic characters. I want other people to feel that way too. And it also really hit me. One day I was at this bike race and I looked around and I was like, I've never seen another Indian cyclist, period. I've never seen anyone, even with my skin tone, at any of my races, male or female. And I didn't even realize back then the level of impact that just showing up has.
I respect that. I am always mildly intimidated in moments like this because I don't know if I have that much of a profound impact or if I'm that much of a trailblazer.
You have certainly inspired me.
What? Thank you.
I mean, this is the longest I've ever committed to any challenge, mental, physical, emotionally.
Oh,
Yeah.
you meant chess, the video. I thought you meant this podcast for half a second. I was like, hold on a minute. Wait, what? I thought you were like, wait.
No, I mean, you've inspired me a lot with my chess journey, and I'm sure literally millions of people can say the same.
That is like what, yeah, like folks will reach out. I also, I will echo one thing, definitely. I put out videos as a source of like education, entertainment. That's what I always say. And that whole analogy I made earlier about like bridging the difficulty gap in chess is something I really like. And the more people playing it, the better. And I've got different ideas for like making chess awesome. And I think when people reach out from spots in life where they're really struggling with their mental health, or like my videos are their side-by-side partner where they're studying for the bar exam every day until 4 a.m. in the library, like stuff like that. Like people have reached out that they reconnected a lost relationship with a grandfather over chess, like crazy stuff like that.
Oh my God. So yeah, you are inspiring people for sure.
Yeah, I guess I just sort of, it just comes with the territory. Like people, they use the videos in a way that changes their life for the better, is how I would describe. I don't actively think about it just because it's just a 30-minute chess video. You know what I mean? Like it's a 30-minute chess video. I try to put my heart and soul in it. And it's why I stopped streaming as much, because while I can talk about the ROI and the discovery algorithm, I didn't put the best version of myself onto Twitch. You just hit live and you sit there and people in chat write Pepe, whatever, different versions of the green frog, and you react. And yeah, YouTube is really where I felt like I can, even with chess, I can be the kind of give you the best version of me for that time period, and you'll laugh, or you'll be like, oh, I never knew that before. And then you go to the comments and people are saying some fun stuff and you can feel like a part of it. Or I've pinned someone who's just totally off their rocker, and that's also great. I pinned a comment earlier today. I uploaded a clip, and the clip is called "Why I Use Chess.com over Lichess," and it's me saying I don't support communism, and then I said that's a joke, relax, and then it's like, and so somebody commented, oh, so the joke is you actually do believe in communism like all good little Jews, and I was like, what? Like, and so I pinned it, stuff like that. I've never read a comment that was hateful that legitimately hurt my feelings, I don't think. Or I did a really good job of suppressing it. I love that stuff. Like, I don't know, I guess it comes with the territory. We do need to have some thick skin. And when the whole Indonesia thing broke, you were one of the first people I spoke to. And so I appreciate that very much. I also felt really bad because I never followed up. I just sort of went through it, and I tried to I
didn't expect you to follow up with me.
I was like fighting a war out there, and I was like, she was the first one to like calm me down and tell me it's going to be okay. And yeah, that was wild, man. Wild times.
I'm so happy that it seems to have worked out, though.
Oh yeah,
and that you're all good.
Yeah, and Indonesia chess is like massive now, and the woman who played Dadang like live at the podcast, Irene, she's doing chess lessons for Indonesian children in Bahasa. So, dude, everybody made it out okay.
Grew.
Yeah, everybody. even the cheater. He
my God.
They got paid, and Michelle, this was awesome. I hate to end it here, but I do need to prepare for this training game. Or
yeah. Me too. My big 1,000 game.
So, actually, very quickly before we end, are you going to record every time you're close to 1,000? You have to hit record and because in case you hit it, it has to be included, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great. That's wild. So you'll have like the studio and the cameras and.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Maybe I'm feeling really revved up after this podcast. I'm like, let's fucking go.
All right.
Get it done.
Dude, I mean, all my videos recently are named I Will Be a Grandmaster, so different iterations of that because people like to click on those. So well, this was awesome. And I have to hit stop recording at some point. So I appreciated this very much, and I hope this was fun for you because I had a blast.
It was. Thank you for having me. Shout out to the Gotham community.
As always, if you've made it this far in the episode, I want to thank you for your continued support. If you're in the YouTube video, drop a comment in the comment section. If you're listening on any other platform, just thank you. And as always, if you want to support, I don't have any specific donation links, but I do have a website where I do have chess courses, and you're more than welcome to check that out. But I will see you back here in Gotham City with our next guest in our next episode. Take care.